A consistency rule.
Consistency rule.
Consistency rule.
This prop firm rule is a scam. If you have been trading with prop firms or even just interested in prop firms, you have likely seen this rule. And yes, it is consistency rules. The fact of the matter is, this rule is a scam. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down why this rule is robbing traders of countless payouts, what firms are guilty, and what it means for you, the trader, when it comes to choosing what prop firm challenge to take. Stay tuned because this video might save you thousands of dollars. Okay, so first things first, if you are a little bit newer to prop firms, or you, fortunately for you, haven't seen what consistency rules are, they can slightly vary from each firm that has a consistency rule, even though firms shouldn't have a consistency rule. But ultimately what it comes down to is it is saying that you cannot have a single trade be more than X amount of your total profit. So no single trade can be more than 10% to 50% of your overall profit. So for example, if we have $100 of total profit, so you're crushing it, you made $100, but there is let's say a 25% consistency rule. Okay, so you made $100, but there's a 25% consistency rule. This means that you can have no trade equal more than $25 of profit. So as you can see, this creates an invisible minimum trading days rule. So a firm might advertise and say, we have 0 minimum trading days, or 1 or 2 or 3. Well, if there's a consistency rule, that's actually going to enforce invisibly a minimum trading day, because you might have hit the 3 minimum trading days, but if you haven't hit their consistency rule, if you've made too much profit from 1 or 2 or 3 trades, they're forcing you to trade more. Okay, so you can already start to see how there's a whole bunch of problems with this, because it's absolutely terrible for the trader. So let's say you've taken 2 trades, a different scenario, you've taken 2 trades and each winning trade has been $50, but there's still that 25% consistency rule. So this means that you cannot request a payout. You have not hit the consistency rule because both of your trades are equaling 50% of your total profit. So if you were to take a third trade, let's say you make another $50, it's at 33%. So you still could not earn a payout because of this rule. And that's what the 25% consistency rule. The smaller the number, the worse it is. If you slap on here a 10% consistency rule, it means you cannot have a single trade be more than 10% of your total profit, which is just absolutely insane. And there's tons of firms that currently have this, especially on their instant funding models, which we are going to talk about. So remember, the higher the consistency rule percentage, the better it is for you. You want a firm with no consistency rules whatsoever, but if it's a higher number, it's going to allow each winning trade to be a larger percentage of your total gains. But if it's a small number like 10%, 20%, 25%, run away. It does not matter what the challenge looks like. It does not matter how cheap it is, because it is incredibly restrictive. Okay, so that is what a consistency rule is in a nutshell. Now, if we go to point number 2, why does this rule exist and sounds good on paper? Okay, so I have been running Lark Funding for 3 years now, over 1,000 days. We have never and will never have a consistency rule. So I'm not just some trader online that's saying, well, I think this is how prop firms operate. No, I have been running a prop firm for 3 years, and so I can tell you exactly why firms do this. They do this because it sucks for traders. Statistically speaking, the more trades a trader takes, the worse they are going to do. And what does a consistency rule force traders to do? It forces them to take more trades. And a prop firm knows if a trader is forced to be in the market for more time, they are going to lose money. They're going to lose the gains that they made, or even if they haven't made money, they're going to eventually lose money. Time in the market equals less money in the bank account. And so the prop firm will likely market it and model it as, well, we want to encourage consistency, we want to encourage risk management, but the reality is that is a complete farce. It is a lie. It is because they want you to lose. They don't want you to have outsized winners. And again, I get it. Lark Funding, we have always positioned ourselves as a firm for traders that are risk managed. If you want to risk 5% on a single trade in your challenge, Lark Funding is not for you. So I'm not here saying that firms should allow traders to completely gamble away their account. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that this rule, marketing it as, we want you to be consistent, that's not really the case. That's not really what's going on here. Okay, number 3, why it's actually a scam. Okay, a scam you can use in a bunch of different ways. Is it really a scam? Number 1, if a prop firm is hiding this, then yes, it's absolutely a scam, which is kind of like 50% of the time. It's usually hidden really deep in their FAQ site. But if a prop firm is transparent, if they're being forthcoming and they're being honest with the rule, then no, it's not a scam, but it's an absolutely awful rule for traders. And why is it actually a scam? Why is it an awful rule? Well, we've touched on a few different points, but ultimately what it comes down to is it's allowing a prop firm to reject your payout after you have already done well, after you have put in the hard work, after you have actually earned those gains on that account. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is because it secretly and kind of hiddenly allows a prop firm to market their challenges as incredible. Right? We're going to give you a $100,000 instant funding account for only $500. No challenge. You don't need to pass a challenge. You can start earning from day 1, and it's only $500. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, a $500 instant funding account? 2-step challenges used to be $500. Now I'm getting an instant funding challenge, or not challenge, I'm getting an instant funding account for the same price. What a deal. Stop yourself right there, because there are countless prop firms right now, and I've been very outspoken on Twitter about this because I think these instant funding accounts are absolute scams. It's a total waste of money. It does not matter if an instant funding account is $500 if there's a 15% consistency rule, because your odds, I know you're probably thinking, I'm not going to be, the average. I'm going to be the outlier. But the reality is somebody has to be the average, and the average trader will not receive a payout. Listen, and we're very transparent with all of our metrics, with all of our challenges. On our 1-step, 2-step, 3-step challenges, 12 to 13%, depending on the month, will pass. And of those traders that pass, 50% of them will receive a payout. So ultimately, we're seeing anywhere from 5 to 7% of traders that sign up actually go on to receive a payout. Now, those are on challenges with 0 consistency rules. 0. With 30 to 50 to 1 leverage, 10% max drawdown. Okay? So 6-7% of traders will receive a payout with 0 consistency rule. So imagine the percentage of traders that will actually receive a payout with a 15, 20, 25% consistency rule. I am not saying I'm guessing. I am telling you in this video because I have the data from tens of thousands of traders, okay? Less than 1% of traders will actually receive a payout. So if you're watching this, please do not fall for what is taking place in the industry. It does not matter how cheap an account is if you're not actually going to benefit from it, okay? You work hard for your money, invest it into something that is actually going to help you make money. Listen, the entire reason for the prop firm industry to even exist is to make your life as a trader better. But these consistency rules are doing the opposite. We're even now seeing $5,000 instant funding accounts for $19. Guys, please understand what is going on here. There is a reason they're dirt cheap. They're dirt cheap because nobody is going to earn a payout on them. Nobody, okay? Even if you're the best trader in the world, or maybe you are the best trader in the world and you're going to be the outlier, but trust me, the majority of traders are not going to earn any money with the consistency rule, and that is why I call this rule a scam. Number 4, which firms have it? Okay, listen. I am not actually going to name any names in this video, but hopefully you know what firms are introducing and implementing these consistency rules. It doesn't take a lot of rocket science. Listen, I am a trader myself, and when it comes to the prop firm industry, the idea of the goal is to have 2 to 3 firms that you want to max out your capital with. So if one firm offers 400K, another 600, another 200, you want to diversify. You want to get as much funding under your belt as possible. There's great websites like Prop Firm Match where you can filter through different firms. You can just do the research yourself. It's not rocket science to tell and to know which firms have it. So please just do your research. I don't want you to get burned with these consistency rules. So number 5, what should traders do? Is it as simple as just avoiding a challenge and a firm that has these rules? Well, the short answer is yes, but it's also having a little bit of a perspective shift. Like I said earlier, the entire point of the prop firm industry is to make your life as a trader better. Okay, when I first started trading back in 2018, I was trying to flip a $500, a $1,000 account, and it was incredibly painful. Then when I discovered FTMO, I got funded, I took my first 100K challenge, and it made my life so much better. But if there are tons of rules that are hidden, that are restrictive, we're missing the plot. We're missing the entire point of these challenges, which is to make your life easier. Now listen, you need to know how to trade. Don't take a prop firm challenge if you don't know how to trade. Prop firms aren't an excuse to just skip all of the hard work that is required to become a trader, to learn the craft and the art of trading. So yes, there's going to be rules that you have to follow. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a fine line between having a certain amount of drawdown or certain rules that still allow you flexibility and freedom. And on the other side, being so restrictive that, hey, we're going to sell you a 5K instant funding account for $19, but really we're going to hide in our FAQ site that there's 15% consistency rules, and so you're never actually going to receive a payout. Okay, I can only imagine the number of traders that have worked hard, that have spent money on these challenges, have gone to request a payout thinking, oh my gosh, I finally made it. I'm finally seeing some success, only for the prop firm to say, oh, by the way, you didn't see this 15% consistency rule on our FAQ page, so you have to keep trading. We're not going to pay you. Okay, it's heartbreaking. So at the end of the day, what should traders do? Avoid this rule. If you take one takeaway from this video, please let it be to spend a little bit more on a challenge that will actually give you freedom and flexibility. I'm not just saying what I think. I know the data. There's a consistency rule. The odds of you earning a payout are very, very slim. I hope with this video I didn't ruffle any feathers, but I think it needs to be said, as a trader myself, I really don't want traders falling into this trap. And as I said, I have been running Lark Funding, my own prop firm, for 3 years now. We process payouts the fastest in the industry, with the average payout being under 6 hours. And listen, I'm not going to lie to you and say that we are the cheapest, that we're the most affordable, because we're not. However, we do process payouts the fastest. We've been in business for 3 years. And perhaps most importantly, based on this video, we have rules that you can actually succeed with. We have no consistency rules, regardless of the challenge, no hidden rules. And we've been in business for 3 years. We have put our money where our mouth is. So if you're interested in taking a prop firm challenge that gives you flexibility, that gives you some freedom, that actually gives you a chance to make some money, the link for that is down below. YouTube thinks that you'll like this video next, so check it out. If you're upset with me, if you agree with me, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.